All right, I want to switch gears here for a moment. It's been more than a month now since DirecTV abruptly removed conservative news channel Newsmax from its platform after pressure from Democrat members of Congress. And we here at the Family Research Council have been rallying our viewers, listeners, and supporters to counter this move to censor conservative viewpoints through a petition campaign. If you haven't added your name, you need to do it right now, because we're going to be transmitting these petitions like even tonight. You can do so by texting Newsmax to 67742, or you can go to tonyperkins.com and follow the link over. Well, our DirecTV may be catching wind of our efforts and others, and so this is good, but we need to keep the pressure on. Here to talk with me about this, Jody Hice, former member of Congress who serves as senior advisor to the president here at the Family Research Council. Jody, thanks so much for joining me.
Tony, always great to be with you. Thanks.
And I should add that the Friday host of Washington Watch, so we might get a preview of what you're going to be talking about tomorrow. But I want to go to this issue of, we were talking about earlier about the congressional hearings. We had all these on China. We've got the Oversight Committee. We've got the Weaponization of Government Committee. First time this committee that's looking at how government is working against the people. Well, you go back 2 years ago when Democrats in control of Congress after January the 6th, using that as a platform, wrote a letter to John Stankey, CEO of AT&T, calling on him to basically deplatform, cancel, remove, however you want to describe it, OAN, Newsmax, and Fox from their platforms. And 2 of the 3 are now gone.
2 of the 3 are gone. Tony, this ought to literally send a chill down the spine of every freedom-loving American. I mean, we are watching, unfortunately, a left-leaning Democratic Party using the government as a weapon to go against political conservatives, their political opponents. And, you know, we've seen this from everything from raids, FBI aides raiding the homes of pro-life individuals, to banks not doing business with conservative organizations, going after parents for standing up for their rights at school board. We've seen this cancel culture over and over and over, but this is stepping it up a level where literally the attempt is to censor and silence a conservative voice, even on the airwaves. Right. And this is chilling.
That's what the left is. The left does not want to have a debate. They can't defend their position, so they want to silence their opposition. But here's the problem. Well, one of the problems. The First Amendment applies to the government. Okay, the government can't silence. Private entities can kick people off if they want to. But just as we've seen with the Twitter files, Twitter was not acting on their own. They were being enticed, encouraged, and directed by the federal government. Well, I would argue, when you look at this letter, to me, this is Exhibit A, that based upon the position of these members of Congress who had oversight, because they were on committees that have oversight of communications, they called upon AT&T and DirecTV to remove these entities. They're now gone. That would suggest to me that this was a part of it.
That's the reason they're gone. Yeah, and listen, that is an extremely intimidating letter.
Yeah.
It is threatening. It is. Could no way that be received from AT&T or whomever. It was sent to a host of others, but there is no way to read that letter without being fearful.
Right.
That if we do not take action, the force of government is going to come after us. And yeah, I believe Oversight Committee needs to go after this. There needs to be investigations. This needs to be discovered as to the reason why AT&T deplatformed OAN and Newsmax.
And they, in this letter, which is a 2-page letter, they say that experts have noted that the right-wing media ecosystem is much more susceptible to disinformation, lies, and half-truths. It goes into COVID.
Says who?
Well, I know, exactly.
Who are these experts?
Actually, in there, it's footnoted. It has like about 20 pages of footnotes, but most of the footnotes are of liberal organizations, often funded by George Soros. So they use that as justification to take away the rights of those they oppose. And by the way, we were talking about this before we went on the air. The disinformation they were talking about with COVID, that mask, when folks like us were saying masks don't work. We need to be suspect of the vaccinations, the shutdowns, that those were going to have bad outcomes. That was called disinformation. What does the facts tell us now?
Yeah, so maybe, perhaps we should deplatform CNN and MSNBC or whoever else you put that
Which
was
spreads
spreading
disinformation every day.
disinformation every single day. And yeah, I mean listen. The only people that they consider experts are people who embrace
agree
their.
with them.
That's right. Embrace
So
their
what
ideology.
committees would have jurisdiction over it?
I would think oversight absolutely would have jurisdiction over this, and I'm very confident that Chairman Comer is on this. I think we're going to see oversight go after this, and it may bleed over into some other committees, but certainly oversight.
We're going to beat the drum for this because this needs to be addressed, or else it will continue to grow like a cancer. Very quickly, got 30 seconds. What can people expect to hear on Washington Watch tomorrow?
Hey, listen, we're looking forward to a great show. I'll just give you a little bit. I'm really excited. Just before coming in here, we heard from a group that actually refers to themselves as Mama Bears, and they have been going after the school districts and libraries for pushing all sorts of absolutely wrong sexually explicit material on our children. That's one piece of that we're going to cover tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to that. There's been some great victories on that issue because of Mama Bears.
It sounds like a roaring good show.
It will be.
All right, Jody Hice, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Tony.